Hello! Welcome to First Listen, the show in which I will listen to an album in its entirety for the very first time ever. Ever. If you have any suggestions for an album that you think I should listen to, put it in the comments below there and I will definitely give it a shot. My only criteria is that one, obviously I've never heard it before, and two, that it's easily accessible and I don't have to purchase a copy first, right? Because if I don't like it, I might have to send you a bill. You know what I mean? So anyway, this episode I'm going to be listening to Metallica's Master of Puppets. I talked with a friend of mine, John Stevens, about this because he's a big Metallica fan and I'm not really. I can't say I'm not, but I can't say I am. I just don't really know a lot of their stuff, and I've never listened to any of their albums in their entirety. And I was going to do Metallica's Metallica album, the Black Album, but he says nah, because that's really commercial. It's what made them big, and it's when Hetfield's voice broke, and albeit became this bigger, more powerful thing that he has now. But pick one of the first three albums, because then that'll give you more of an insight and understanding of what took them to there in the first place. So I read up a little bit on some of the previous albums and I've decided to go for Master of Puppets for a couple of reasons. One is nearly everyone who's a Metallica fan has a Master of Puppets t-shirt and wears it all of the time. So to me that tells me that it's one of their better albums, right? This album was released in March 1986. It's the third album. It's their last album with Cliff Burton, who died while they were on tour promoting this album in a bus crash in Sweden. It's got loads of 5-star ratings all over the place. It's been described as being the metal version of Phil Spector's Wall of Sound. So to me, that's kind of like, whoop, has to be a little bit interesting in there somewhere at least. It went platinum in the UK. It went 6 times platinum in the United States. It went 6 times platinum in Canada. It debuted on the US Billboard charts at 128 and peaked at 29, but you know, it's sold gazillions since then. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a listening. So I've got it queued up already on my Spotify. There you go, look at that, Master of Puppets, that famous album sleeve. I've got my cans ready, and I've also got my other cans ready. Cheers. So here we go. Metallica, Master of Puppets. Right. That's Metallica's Master of Puppets over and done with. Kind of thankfully. Did I enjoy it? Hard to say. Did I not enjoy it? Hard to say. I enjoyed how it started off. I was really kind of getting into it with Battery. Battery started off with this kind of Spanish, almost flamenco guitar going on, and then just went Metallica, you know, fast and relentless and angry. And I was getting into it, and I was getting into it still in the second track, and then the thing that should not be came on, which is a perfect title for it because it should not be. It was garbage. It was formulaic of that kind of music, you know. Just cack, man, boring. And then the next song, I don't know what it was. Welcome Home. Welcome Home is silent and asylum. I don't know. In sanitarium. Who cares? But that was just. It starts off really just hugely too much chorus pedal, and it's just. It could have been Scorpions, you know, and everyone knows the Scorpions are shite. I kind of get it in one sense. If you're a 14 or 15-year-old boy and your parents don't like you and you've got no mates and you know, all of the girls at school are ignoring you and you're just full of anger and spunk and all you're doing is masturbating yourself to sleep every night listening to angry, aggressive music. I get that. I understand that that's probably why it's sold or Metallica have sold hundreds of millions of records. That's their target audiences: spotty 14 to 18-year-old boys who can't speak to other human beings, right? But as an adult now, it just doesn't. I don't get it, and it's hard for me to place it in 1986, right? I mean, this might have been groundbreaking in 1986 for this genre of music, which I wasn't into then. I was into music that made you smile and be happy and party and talk to girls and touch girls and hold girls and take girls outside to the bus shelter, or, well, you know, not Lord of the Rings. Anyway, then there's this track Orion, which is like 8.5 minute instrumental, which has the melodies are kind of medieval folk, which is for some reason embedded into this kind of metal, and I don't understand why folk from the medieval times is so important to this kind of music. I don't get it. Some of the guitar solos on this album would not have been out of place on a Rat or a Great White album, which none of you who like Metallica would listen to now. None of you. Damage Inc., the album that closes it, like Battery, the first track, has a really interesting intro. This one's really left fielded, almost sounds like it could be Tangerine. It's not from a metal album, and then it turns all of a sudden into a fucking painting by numbers metal. It's just Is Metallica's Master of Puppets the worst album I've ever heard in my life? No. I would rather listen to Metallica's Master of Puppets again than listen to King Crimson's In the Court of the Crimson King. But if I really had a choice, I would. I'm satisfied now that I've had enough of Metallica. So that's it. If there's an album you think that I should listen to that I might like, or that might cause me just as much discomfort, wasn't that bad? This actually, Then leave a comment below. Give me an album title, or give me a band, and I'll research a band and pick an album. As long as I've not heard it, which obviously you'll never know unless you tell me, I'll give it a listen. I'm open to all of that. And if you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share, leave a comment, subscribe, tick the bell, all of the usual social media thingamajigs. Thanks for watching. Metallica, Master of Puppets.